Welcome to another episode of the Wachusett Area Chamber Business Showcase. I'm Jen Stanovich, and I'll be your host as we learn more about the businesses located in the Wachusett area. Today, we're diving into the world of optometry. Whether you're squinting at screens, struggling with contact lenses, or just need a routine checkup, our expert optometrist has you covered. Joining us today is Dr. Lori Heiler, the owner of Canterbury Vision in West Boylston. Welcome, Lori.
Hi, Jen. It's good to be here. Thank you.
Thanks for coming in. Let's start with the basics, and let's get back to what brought you to West Boylston and what your journey was to start your own practice.
So I got out of optometry school a long time ago and joined the Air Force, which was great. I got to see Texas. I'd grown up in Pennsylvania. It was nice to go somewhere else. Met my husband there. When we decided to have children, I got out of the Air Force, but he stayed in. So we traveled throughout the country. The military moved him often, and I would hold 2 or 3 jobs, part-time jobs, everywhere we went. So I got to work in a ton of different settings. I was in private practices, and I was in a LASIK vision center, commercial practices like lens crafters. I got to see how everybody else did business. How did they run their office? How did they set things up? So when we decided we weren't moving, when we got stationed here in Massachusetts, my kids were heading into high school, and we said, this is it, this is home. It was the natural progression to take all that information I had learned and put it into my own business. So we've been here since 2010. I've worked at Canterbury Vision when we first got here. I bought the practice in 2013, and it's been a wild ride ever since.
And you're really conveniently located, too. We have to talk about that, right?
Sure. We're in West Boylston. We're in the plaza with the post office, so we were right off of Route 12, and there's lots of parking, except when there's ice and snow. But it's most of the time there's lots of parking, and it's easy to get into and out of.
Right across the street from the Manor, which
yes,
is a local landmark.
Absolutely.
In itself, So, all right, let's talk first about what goes into a routine eye exam.
So when you come in for an eye exam, there's 3 basic parts to that. First part is to gather information about how are you seeing. Not only how you read the chart, but how are your 2 eyes working together. They both have to move in the same manner to give you good depth perception and binocular vision. What's your color vision? Because that can tell us if there's something going on with your optic nerve. How's your side vision? We'll check all of those things, eye muscle movements and so forth. Then we'll check your prescription. That's a part of the eye exam, certainly not the main part in my opinion, but that's the reason most people come in. They want their glasses prescription. And then the last part is to check the health of the eye. And this is an eyeball cut down the middle for you so you can see what's going on here. There's a lot of parts in those little tiny eyeballs that we need to check out when we do when we do an eye exam.
So what are some of the common conditions then that you find by doing this?
We'll start at the front of the eye and move our way back. On the front of the eye, we'll often see, especially with computers and the aging population, we're going to see some dry eye or ocular surface disease. And we kind of changed the name of that because dry eye implies that the eyes are dry, where you can actually have a watery eye due to poor tear quality. So we just kind of lump all of that under ocular surface disease. Moving back into the eye, this is the lens of the eye. We can see cataracts at that level. And that happens if you live long enough. All humans get cataracts, but luckily we live in an age when those can be treated with surgery when needed. The back of the eye, we're going to see lots of changes due to high blood pressure and diabetes. So a lot of times, well, not a lot of times, pretty much all the time, your primary care doctor who's treating someone for diabetes is going to say, hey, you've got to get a dilated eye exam every year because this is the only place in the body we can see naked blood vessels. And we know that diabetes and high blood pressure affect the blood vessels throughout the body, but you can't see those blood vessels. Mm-hmm. Whereas in the eye, we can see the blood vessels, report back to the doctor, and they get an idea how well are the medications you're taking working to control your conditions. We're also looking for, during an eye exam, we're looking for tumors, we're looking for holes or tears in the retina. Glaucoma is one of the big things too. Glaucoma is a disease. The front of the eye is filled with fluid, and that fluid creates a fluid pressure. If the pressure is higher than the optic nerve can stand, you're going to get damage to the optic nerve. None of this hurts. These people don't come through my door going, oh, I think I have glaucoma. If they did, they'd be wrong. There is one type of glaucoma that hurts. It's extremely rare. Most people who have glaucoma do not know they have glaucoma until they've been checked. At every routine exam, we are checking the eye pressure and we're looking at the optic nerve. If either of those things look suspicious, we would go on to do testing with a visual field machine at a different visit. We're not going to keep you there all day. A visual field test to see, do you have side vision loss? We'll check an instrument called an OCT, an optical coherence tomographer, and we'll scan 2 layers that are back here by the nerve that we know thin with glaucoma. And we'll take measurements and we'll watch for those things happening over time, because glaucoma is very easily treated with eye drops, but you've got to know you have it. So that's one of the most important things with a routine exam, is to have a glaucoma check.
And all the time we spend looking at screens these days between our phone and our computer, and is that impacting our vision at all?
The scientific studies would say that there are no long-term effects. I believe we're living the experiment, and I think 20 years from now that answer might be a little different, but at this time we do not have a definitive, this is the damage that's being done. But there are so many short-term effects. Eye strain, fatigue, the ocular surface disease that I talked about, you're going to get dry eye. There were studies done to monitor blink rate, and we just do not blink enough when we look at computers, so the eyes get dried out. The front system doesn't work as well as it should. And when you stare at a screen, you have to turn your eyes in to do that, and we just weren't evolved for that. We were evolved for looking for saber-toothed tigers on the horizon. So a lot of us will experience some strain from having to constantly turn the eyes in to keep us focused on the computer screen.
So is it important to get your eyes checked early? I mean, I know you have children come in for eye exams. What age is a good age to start?
We recommend before kindergarten. We'd like to see children at age 4 or up. I do have an associate who works a little younger, with children a little younger than I do. She sees 3-year-olds and up. We want to catch problems early so we can set them up for success in school.
Well, and I've seen the wide variety of eyeglasses that you offer, which is a lot of fun now. I mean, it can be a fashion accessory these days, right?
Definitely a fashion accessory. Would highly recommend that you have more than one pair. I actually recommend that everybody have at least 2 pair, because you need something for backup if you break your glasses. Really was a big deal during COVID when supply chains were disrupted or offices weren't open to help you fix your glasses. You really needed to have a backup.
Sure. And even sunglasses, what did you bring in today?
Oh, I've got some Maui gems for us.
Okay.
My staff picked out one that they
Okay.
thought would look good on you.
Nice.
And this is the one that I wear all the time. We brought Maui gem in to the office a year ago. Because we had a lot of people asking for it. I'm not a big brand name person. I'm like, yeah, brand type, until I put my first pair on. And I put them on, and the glare, it was snowing outside. The glare from the snow was immediately reduced. It was like going, my eyes feel so much better. Maui has a priority polarization technique that is just different than anyone else's. The colors are richer when you look out. Their polarization can't be beat, especially if you're on the water trying to fish. So we've definitely enjoyed them.
I like these.
And there's a lot of
like
different
these a lot.
styles. I mean, and they come in different colors. You can get different lens colors depending on what you do. My daughter's a mariner, spends a lot of time on the water, and they swear by the brown lenses. Gray lenses keep colors truer, and then there's a pink or rose colored lens. They have a lot of different options.
Well, and I'm a golfer, and I know there are some that help you see the ball better, which...
Yeah, we actually have a special, people who are over 40 need a progressive lens, where the top part is for far away, the bottom part is for reading. A traditional progressive will mess up a golfer's vision. I'm not a golfer. But there is a special progressive that is computer generated to give them what they need to see the ball and to see where they're going.
There you go.
And so there are and that's the thing that's so fun right now. The frames are fun. It's fun to shop for glasses, but the technology in the lenses is where the amazing part comes in to me.
So everyone listening who either needs an eye exam or a fun pair of new glasses
Or contacts.
or contacts should contact you, and how do they do that?
Our number is 854-0595. You can also visit us on our website, www.Canterbury, V as in vision, C as in care.com.
Thanks, Lori.
Thank you, Jen.
Thank you for coming in. Well, that wraps up this edition of the Wachusett Area Chamber Business Showcase. I'd like to thank Dr. Lori Heiler of Canterbury Vision for joining us today. Tune in next time as we continue to highlight local businesses in the Wachusett area. I'm Jen Stanovich. Thanks for being with us.